There we go. Hello, Internet. We doing the Sunday Clue. Okay, good. The drivers decide to crash. Oh, I need to turn that down some. So, I had to restart Clue. Up the Soto blog this week, for those interested, more or less confirmed the thing I was expecting, which... Okay, the thing I was expecting after they showed that Shining Hopper was the last figure for 03, and that is that Assault Wolf is the first figure of 04. Which means since it is debuting next week from the preview, Shining Assault Hopper will probably be the next figure in 04. It will more or less be, here's the base body from Shining Hopper with the Assault Shining armor. You think it was me? I mean, I can't disprove that. But maybe someone else can. There we go. Turn the music down on overall. Balance it out a little bit better. They showed off that. They confirmed that Ikazuchi is in development. They have a unpainted prototype already done. But they said it was kind of last minute that they got the revealed about this in comparison to what we saw in the show. So it's more or less probably going to be a 05 to 06 expecting on that one. I'm willing to take the shot of, say, 05 probably. Or it won't be that far out. And they said that next week they're showing off the next Chronicle, the next series to get the Chronicle treatment, which I saw talk on Discord of a couple people speculating it could be Kiva since the CSM Kiva stuff dropped at the Henshin event this past week. For those wondering what the Henshin event was, it was just a showcase event for the CSM folks to show off, hey, here's all the the history of the CSM line and all the work they've done. I don't know. I don't really have a lead at the moment. But they were showing off not only all the CSM drivers and toys they've done so far, they've even showed off some, I wouldn't say prototypes, but at least showpieces of stuff they haven't done. Like there's an Orga and Saiga driver, or Orga and Saiga belt from Five's solo film Paradise Lost. That was at the event along with a couple other things and some concept belts as well. They showed off a driver that shot off some steam when it opened up automatically. A see-through, I wouldn't say touchscreen because it probably isn't a touchscreen, but like a see-through screen driver, and what kind of looks like it kind of reminds me of Meteor because it's the same concept of like a planetarium-like thing, except it's a motion sensor belt. It reacts to various gestures and motions you make while wearing the belt. And I'm gonna say wearing the belt in quotations because because for demonstration purposes, the belt was on a stand for the two people that were demonstrating it from the videos I've seen. And I have a very funny feeling that it's like, oh, this isn't calibrated as much as you're leading it to believe, because like I've only seen at least in one video of it, the guy missed one of his gestures and has to redo it on the fly for it to register properly. And also, it's all been demonstrations of 0-1 of a 0-1 henshin. No henshins for any other riders, even though they're clearly in a menu system that they have programmed in the belt. So it was more or less me just going, oh, this isn't, you don't have this as calibrated as you're kind of showing it to be. Because bear in mind, being someone like knee deep in video game stuff, the motion technology is not uncommon or not an unknown, especially in the game industry at this point. And it's a fickle little piece of shit. Oh, whoops. No, that's a 1. That's not 3, that's a 1. I don't know what I'm doing. It is a fickle thing. Yeah, those 3 were just concept belts. They weren't mainly for anything else. It's just tech they're investigating, which, excuse me, like motion control technology, I hope is something they decide to not worry about. Granted, it's not like I don't potentially have complaints about all 3 different belts, for various reasons. Of course. I can't have a 3rd monitor today, can I? It just cut itself off. Starting to think that that adapter that I ordered today for my dad for his Fire Stick, I should have ordered one for myself. Because I have a feeling that is part of the issue, is that the signal gets slightly weak enough, or there's something that causes disruption-wise on the Wi-Fi that leads to it losing signal. Because otherwise I have no problems with it. The only other problem I've had with it is that the one app I use to watch stuff on, which for reference is a pirating material, has a bit of buffering to it, but it's mainly just buffering when other people are on the internet, not when I'm here alone. Which I say would be the problem for the screen mirroring itself, but I don't think it's that one either. Oh, there's not anybody I want to throw in the background for myself. Yeah, I showed that, and they announced that the next like big CSM release is going to be a DX Kiva belt. So a Kiva the third, along with a DX, well, not really a DX, since it's more CSM. Since CSM kind of operates on their own, I wouldn't say scale, but on their own, like, level of quality that's above the DXM, since they shoot more for the prop scale of the devices instead of just, here's the toy. But a CSM Tarlet, the little dragon buddy that Kiva has that lets him become Emperor. And those two can interact with each other. They have all the assorted sounds and stuff. You can even access Dogabi Emperor, since that is a thing from like a Television special. Oh no, it was a Hyper Battle video, not Television, technically. It was a Hyper Battle video thing. Yeah, all the Kiva material, or Kiva himself's material, is accessible through all this stuff. It's larger in scale, more closer to what the prop would look like, as CSM standard is always. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Well, I do believe this is game. Well, I've been dunked in jail, probably. Yep. To jail with us. Oh no. Game, I see as one person's ready, but I can't ready up. There's no button for me. I guess we'll back out of this lobby. In a 6-man lobby. But honestly, I wouldn't say quick and dirty, because that's very much not Soto's style. But a quick, like, one-wave Soto Chronicle hitting Kiva would make a lot of sense. Because, like, Kiva form-wise is not that many. It's, oddly enough, kind of standard for, like, the first phase of the Heisayer in terms of the number of forms that he has. Because he has his base form, and then 3 more or less specialized power-up forms. He has 1 combined form of the 3, and then he has Emperor. And then Emperor also has that 3 power-up versions involved in it that, like, would be replicatable in Soto, even on an engineering, just through how Soto would engineer it, most likely. Like, you can accomplish like 2/3 of it unless they put in a chest swap, which is what you would need. But, I had a thought, and then I lost it. But yeah, no, Soto can very easily, like, pull off, like, a Chronicle Kiva wave, or Chronicle Kiva set more or less than just one wave. Which, yeah, partially I think makes it go, oh, that's not going to be it, because that feels more akin to what Shoto recently did for Agito, where the Shoto X8, I believe, is technically the one for it. But it released a Agito set that gave you base form or ground form Agito, flame form, storm form, the parts to make Trinity, which is more or less just here. Just put the flame arm and the storm arm on, and leave the ground form chest on. And Shining, along with the Machine Tornado, which more or less goes, here's literally all of Agito's forms, with the only one missing being Burning. Which I almost wonder if Burning got dropped for the Machine Tornado just to get the Machine Tornado there, because that seems to be Shoto's style, is they like to do the bikes and stuff, especially in 2 pieces. But what makes me think like that Shoto would do it is because that fits Shoto's engineering. Especially even the Agito stuff, how Agito is engineered, where it has these chest swaps to do the Flame and Storm forms. That exact style of chest swapping would be needed to do was it the Doga Hammer form, I believe? I believe Doga, because I think Doga's the only one with a chest swap. Let me look. Actually, why don't I just pull it up here? I don't think Doga, Garu, and Basha have a chest swap. I might be wrong. I might be misremembering Kiva. I only watched so much of Kiva and kind of dropped it because I kind of got tired of the series spoiling all the interesting aspects of it. Although they do have chest swaps. Okay, my bad. But yeah, the chest swap plus arm swap, like, that's the exact same kind of engineering that Shoto did for Agito, so I see no reason for them to not do that again for Kiva. Even Dogabi has that. Like, even if you just put it on Emperor, like, that's that engineering, like, that's pretty much Kiva. That makes me think, no, maybe not. That might be like the next Shoto wave instead of Chronicle. Well, maybe, well, not like this next wave, since this next wave is Blade and Stronger. I don't know why I derped on that. Blade and Stronger. I don't know. I'm almost of the mindset that Shoto would be more of the Phase 1 and Showa material, and Chronicle will cover the Phase 2 material, because that's mostly what they've covered so far. Chronicle had the exception of Den-O, which I guess since you had that kind of armor engineering, that would be like up Soto's alley, but Kiva doesn't feel like what Soto would do for Chronicle would be for Shoto, and I don't know. I guess I'm conflicted, because I'm like, I kind of want a Chronicle wave to get announced for a show I don't like, that way I can ignore it. I have an excuse to ignore it and focus more on getting the rest of the double material and the O's material. Well, I can focus on, like, the other Soto stuff I want and not worry about it. Like, even if it's Kuga, I'm like, I'm kind of the mindset of, like, I don't need, like, Kuga and Agito and Soto for me. I feel like Soto is going to be more or less my Phase 2 onward material, since that's the shows I'm more in touch with. I guess the Miranda. Because Phase 1, the only two shows I like are Kuga and Agito. Every other show I've either, like, not particularly cared for or just don't like it. Damn it, Scarlet. Fine. Pistol? You shot him. God damn it, Scarlet. Of course. Of course. Of course. What? Which card is it? Damn it. But that's just my thought. That's just how I feel about Soto at the moment, where it's just like, yeah, I don't need Kuga and Agito. Like, even with the Shoto X set out, like, I kind of would want the secondary riders and stuff for Agito. I would want, like, G3, G3X, and Gills. And okay, Exceed and Gills, really. Because Soto is slowly turning into I want a specific thing out of these waves, and so far everything that that they are doing is I'm fine with. Like, 0-1 is just being a good show, and I want figures for it. X8 and Build have all these different riders in their final forms, easily accessible, and the ability to give a couple of riders final forms I kind of want to give them. And like, O's is giving me all the combos, literally every combo I want just for O's Wonderful and more. Will be out by, like, I think midway through next year. So I can have that kind of nice display. Okay, that confirms Theater. The Theata. It puts more questions on the table. And then Double has decided just to give me, like, everything I could want for Double, which is fine. Like, the only things that are missing are, like, Booster and Red Flame and Terminal at this point in Soto Double, and I could skip those. I could not want those. I don't need those at the end of the day, unless they get something really cool in there, like, I don't know, Fang Joker or like Fang Trigger and Fang Metal. Like, I could honestly skip them, because, like, the Exo V Cinema is fine. It's the internal V Cinema that feels weird and, like, shouldn't be taken at face value, because if it does, it feels out of connection with A to Z. Like, I feel like you have to take the movie as with an unreliable narrator, because it kind of doesn't make A to Z feel... It doesn't feel right in comparison to A to Z. And Chimerager rumors are circulating at the moment. And there's nothing much to them yet, since we don't have confirmed information. But we still have no scans or anything, which wouldn't surprise me. We didn't get scans for, like, half a quarter two, 0-1, so I wouldn't be surprised if Chimerager scans are kind of on a lockdown where we're just not going to get them. So, yeah, we're waiting on the next Sentai show, which I'm going to wait a few weeks on. I'm still not caught up in Ryusoulger. An episode dropped early today before I streamed. Before I started streaming, and I could have easily watched it, and then, no. And nope, still haven't watched it, still haven't caught up. I just... Granted, an appearance from a character from the solo film for Ryusoulger next week makes me go, oh fuck. You were doing all this Guy Sword material because the movie was coming out, wasn't it? Because Guy Sword, the Guy Sword armor featured prominently in the movie, which feels like one of those, wow, Guy Sword matters more in all of the ancillary material related to Ryusoulger than he does in Ryusoulger itself. I wish I could like Ryusoulger more, but I just don't. I need to update the pictures that are going to be scrolling on my TV if I leave my Fire Stick on long enough for screensaver mode. I need to take a few out because there's some copies in there and some old material that I just don't need. Like the old versions of my phone wallpapers that I did. Granted, I need to do some Photoshop and finally finish, like, changing up my wallpaper and getting it done, which I still haven't done. I'm almost done with it. I just need a couple more rows, which I need to do that, or I should really get back to that. I should get back to just doing some personal writing or some creative writing stuff. Like, I really need to get on the archiving, which I still haven't done, because I've been a lazy bum about it. Mainly because it's just going to be a lot of work, and it's just one of those I need to sit down for a few hours. Most likely just tomorrow. Just get up, do it tomorrow. Like, I still need to go Christmas shopping for one thing, but that can, like, wait until, like, Tuesday. for like one last present, which is all I need actually, because I've been reminded of like, oh yeah, you also did this thing, which counts as a Christmas present, which might as well just count as a Christmas present. You did this, you got these two, you're really just down to one thing, and I'm like, fuck, you're right. Granted, there's another present I'm kind of thinking about trying to find. Because it's a thing that's been missing from our kitchen for quite a while, which is, we had these wooden bowls to put, like, bowls of, to use as, like, more or less pot holders for, warm bowls of, like, soup and stuff that got microwaved. But we've, lost multiple of them, we're down to one, and I'm just like, I kind of want to see if I can find more on Amazon or something and order them. Not as much as I'm seeing. Also, not really what I'm looking for. What I'm seeing are salad bowls, and I'm like, I don't know if that's what I'm after. I don't know how resistant to heat those are. And the Game Awards are this week. I believe they're like Thursday, because that game explained that their predictions for reveals and who's gonna win Game of the Year, and like some of them were saying Death Stranding, and I'm like, God, I have nothing against the game, but it just doesn't feel as much as it's being billed as. It feels like it does have problems with it. Like, they were even noting that it's like, it got very divisive reviews, and that's like one of the, like, the only game on that Game of the Year list that got divisive reviews, and it's just like, hey Jeff, did you holler at your buddy Kojima and told him, hey, we got you a guaranteed slot for Game of the Year? Of course, I think I read something somewhere, unless that was false, that like Kojima's left his own fucking studio and went and made another studio. Which I'm like, okay. Alrighty then. Sure. So fucking help me. But so we're either getting the arcade out of this, or we're narrowing down things very far. We are narrowing down things very far. Oh boy. Okay. We found the arcade. Well, that certainly complicates things for us now. Or was that the... Okay, that was on the... Okay, never mind. That's just... That was the one website that posts the goof articles. Okay, so that was just a goof. Good to know. Because I felt that's very weird and very, like, huh, that doesn't seem right. For reference, the hard drive website for goof articles posted that Kojima left the studio over creative differences, and I'm like, motherfucker, you run the company. What are you talking about? Anywho. I've been taking measurements of my cubbies to see if I can find a set of risers. I landed on spice racks, actually, on Walmart, and there was a couple good-looking ones that I liked that were wood, because I want wood. Because it would fit in better with my wood desk. But I couldn't find one the right dimensions. It feels like another one of those cases of like, ah, fuck. I need to have it built, don't I? And it's like not the only set of risers I need built. I need a new one for all the amiibo that are on top of my desk that are just practically overflowing at this point. That or I had a thought. I don't think it will work. Because I don't think all of them will fit in those cubbies. I don't think. But I could certainly try. Because then I could center that and put all my Soto up there. And then my amiibo are a little bit in easier reach. I think all those bases are about the same. I could probably put all Soto even with bases up there. That's a thought. Thought for something to try another day. It'd only be like getting stuff down, putting stuff up on a shelf. Oh no. Applied for a job. Another job applied for. One said no, so still chipping away at that. I hate being in this holding pattern of like waiting to see if I get a job or like not necessarily get a job, but at least get an interview. Just in the holding pattern of just waiting and waiting and waiting and not hearing anything for weeks because it drives me up the wall. Just being like, do I keep looking? Do I not? Like, come on. Okay. Arcade, so that doesn't give us any new information. Why is Discord still there? Why did I not move that over? I gotta figure out what I need to do this week. You know what we might do? Just to buy me more time. Since Pokemon's about to wrap up, like, this week mostly. Like, the Pokemon will be done this week, and, like, it'll probably end up like Smash, and, like, if there's a special, like, G-Max event, we'll I might stream me going after the GMAX Pokemon or not. I doubt it, because there's not that many like GMAX Pokemon that aren't already available in the game. And that would more just be, here's the thing for an hour or so before we get to the main event. So I'm thinking we will probably wait on Ace Attorney until next week on Wednesdays. Just to kind of keep the Switch theming on the Wednesdays for now. And that maybe Thursdays, I might just go through all 3 Donkey Kong Country games. Or all 3 original SNES games, mind you. I was about to say, I could do both returns, don't I? Can I? Can I not? I don't remember. I don't think I can, because I don't have the first returns. I don't think I have a copy of the first returns, but I do have a copy of Tropical Freeze on the Wii U, actually. I just don't have the original returns. But I'll probably just go through like the original 3 SNES games, and we'll just start from scratch, work our way through them. And that should take me for a while. Especially if I'm beating all 3 of them. That way I've got something a little bit longer going into next year. Because then... Let's see, what else? I'm trying to think of what else I would want to stream. If I can sit down and get the modding I want to do on a Radiant Dawn ROM, or technically ISO, I would want to do Radiant Dawn, a modded version of Radiant Dawn that like ups the experience game on the units. It would probably be like probably be a fairly easy experience, most likely, but I would want to show off all the characters like at least 3rd tiers, especially the story ones, since like there's problems with that. But I would want to try to increase the XP gain at least. Maybe like double it and do a test and see how where that puts us. Level wise, kind of in the first couple levels. And if that's kind of where I would want it, keep with it, and we'll just keep going. We'll just do that. Because since I did a Let's Play of Path of Radiance, I kind of want to do a stream of Radiant Dawn. A stream through of Radiant Dawn. Since I've also done 3 houses, but that won't be for a while since we just wrapped up 3 houses, and I'm definitely not streaming another one. Any of the other routes. Because, oh boy, that took a while. I'm good. I'm good on not playing 3 houses for a little bit until I'm ready to hop back in. Maybe when the new story stuff comes out. We'll see how that looks next year. There's that. I'm wanting to do Kingdom Hearts 3, but I'm waiting on Remind, and that's not going to be out for a little bit, I believe. I believe next year? February next year, I think, is the release date I saw for it at one point. I might be wrong on that. Yeah, once we get Remind DLC, especially since it seems like, hey, here's a bunch of missing stuff from the last 2 levels of the game, and a lot of epilogue stuff that we probably should have put in here anyway. So that 3 actually feels like a fucking conclusion instead of a... the conclusion of a fucking arc instead of a, hey, tune in next time, and it's just oh, for fuck's sakes. Because I saw the excuse of being people thought this is the end, and I'm like, well, first of all, they build it as that in every fucking commercial. As the conclusion of the saga. That's what Nomura billed it as, is the conclusion of the Xehanort saga. But it doesn't feel like a conclusion because the fucking black box has nothing to do with anything outside of what's to come. The fucking foretellers have nothing to do outside of what's to come. all that shit from Union Cross doesn't matter to this game. All of that matters for the next arc and the next saga. And I honestly just feel like I wish there was just a hard break of just like, this is the end of the Xehanort saga. This is it. We're done. And we're moving on. So that there's a clean introduction for the next one instead of this messy, fucking Zaldan's important from the last, like, fucking 5 years of continuity. Fuck's sakes. And like Biz has probably said on his streams, I hope there's a lot of mechanical fixes, especially for harder difficulties. Granted, I probably won't be playing it on a harder difficulty. I'll probably be playing it on like a New Game Plus run. So that we can probably like blitz through the non-new stuff fairly easily and have fun with the new stuff. Because I still have my save file, or my complete save file that like doesn't have everything done on it, but has like most things done on it. Oh, let's check. Let's check. Oh, we got nothing else at the moment. There's that. There is a marathon I've been planning, which, weirdly enough, Dan the Enigma just recently did. But it'll be a while till I do it, so that's fine. For reference, for me, the next follower goal after this current one is a marathon I've been wanting to do in the summer for a long time, but never got around to doing it. And that was a Summer of Bolts marathon, and that was me doing the original 4 Ratchet & Clank games. So, Ratchet & Clank 1, Going Commando, Up Your Arsenal, and Deadlocked. Even though I own all the rest, I was only going to do those 4 because I didn't want to go through all, like, what's it, 8 games? Because it'd be those 4, the Future Trilogy. Oh wait, no. 4. Yeah, 10 games. There would be 10 games to go through. Because I'd be going through all the console ones. It'd be after the Future Trilogy, All for One, and then the Ratchet & Clank remake for PlayStation 4. I was just going to do the core 4. I didn't want to do all of it. But I still need to confirm my memory card data just to, I guess, have my saves for those, even though we would probably be starting fresh. I probably wouldn't be doing New Game Pluses on that. I don't feel the need to do New Game Pluses on that. Those there's 4. I'm kind of in the mood to stream all of Duels of the Roses since Dan recently did it for his, like, Duel December Marathon, and I'm like, fuck, I want to stream Duels of the Roses. I love that game. I'm just looking over what else I got at the moment. Honestly, I can't really think of much else at the moment. Maybe restart and do all of Wonderful 101. Maybe do some... I would say do some Wii U stuff, but like... there's nothing I could do on Wii U that really would mean anything. Besides like Wonderful 101 at this point, because like... I probably wouldn't stream S&T Cross Fire Emblem. Because that is quite the chunky game. That's about as chunky as a Persona title, and that's a long time to dedicate to it. And I don't really feel like doing that. And like, I know the Switch port's coming out like February, but like with Persona 5 coming out in March, I'm like, I would want this, but I'm good at the moment. Like, If I can get it at like a discounted price, I probably would. I don't really feel like rebuying that. Well, I'd say rebuying it, but I believe it. The original SMT Crossfire was a Christmas present, so I'm not technically I'm technically buying it for myself at that point. But I don't know, since I already have it, I would probably want that at like a discounted price. And I wouldn't stream Persona 5R. Like, Persona 5R is going to be my, like, I'm going to play that, sit down, play that game, especially since I kind of want to see the documented changes, like, cutscene-wise, like, for the main game. Because if it's not that many, I'm sure as hell not going to be sitting through all of them unless they're, like, certain scenes I want to see again. I will probably blaze right the fuck through them. So I'm sure most people probably wouldn't want to see me do that. Especially since I believe Tom Fox is, I think he's streaming Persona 5R when it comes out. Because I know a while back he asked if people wanted to see him stream Persona 5, and if he should wait for the remake. And I think most people have told him to remake, which is why he hasn't streamed it yet. So he's probably streaming Persona 5R, so... Scramble doesn't have an English release date, so I can't really say anything about Scramble. I probably wouldn't stream it either. Also, weirdly enough, I probably wouldn't even get it on the Switch. I'd probably get that PlayStation 4. Oh wow, that's green. Just for, like, consistency there. I've been wanting to stream Xenoblade Chronicles 1. I still have the ROM downloaded, but since we're getting a definitive edition on the Switch next year, I might stream that. Maybe. Maybe, but that's like a late next year, most likely. I might think around with like one of the old Rider games, see like what's there for the Rider game, since like Rider Revolution is spoken for as a follower goal, so I can't be streaming that. But I'm kind of curious about the PS2 one, where you could play as like the untransformed characters, and it's like an Agito, Ichigo, I think Black crossover essentially. I kind of would want to play through that because it seemed like one of the more interesting ones. Well, that one's spoken for. It was one of the more interesting ones, and I might play through that sometime next year. Granted, everything is up in the air at the moment because, at the very least, start of next year, I'm going to look for at least some part-time work to get some job history on my resume, at least. Like, even if it's not, like, anything super spectacular, like, something to get work history for me, so I can actually have a fucking job in the future in my field. Which, like, will probably change how I stream. Because my 2 days a week might go down to 1 day a week. Depending on, like, all that. It probably won't necessarily, but, like, I might cut back on what I stream if I'm getting a little overwhelmed. Okay, assuming Frankenstein here doesn't have a good guess. Or doesn't have an accusation. We've got options depending on where we land, really. Because we're down to what, 3 locations? And was it 3 each? And then weapons 4, suspects 4. Even though Peacock's probably in Green's hand. I say probably. Alright, what's our options? Gallery or banquet hall? Let's go gallery. Okay. More or less, it's just down to, alright, Green, what's in your hand? Since we have 3, I know nothing that's in your hands. You have Peacock, okay. So Orchid or Scarlet. Or not. Orchid or Plum, not Scarlet. No, Scarlet's spoken for. Sword, Gallery, Plum? There's just not enough information there. But I feel like if we don't get it now, we will forfeit the game to somebody else, so... let's roll the dice and see. Let's say Plum with sword and the gallery. Ah, candelabra. Fuck. 2/3, right? That's Parasol. That doesn't give us anything. Back Firm's bedroom. That's... Firm's that. I was about to say, speaking of Parasol. That means you have sword. You have to have pistol. Which means you don't have poison, you don't have my card, you don't have banquet hall, which means you have banquet hall. You don't have gallery. Meaning, what are we missing card-wise? Peach and Plum, we don't know their last card yet. See what it shakes out to be. I was making sure I just had 3 checks on everybody, because you can make more than 3 checks. The game will not tell you no on that, so. Tommy's posting plans in chat. Schedule is looking like Tuesday is going to be co-op. I'm doing Wednesday, Thursday like normal. No Friday. TGS Saturday. TGSR midnight again. Or we're going to go on break because the Christmas is on break until after Christmas. But that's like 2-week break, isn't it? Man, that'd be like a 2-week break on TGSR. Which means, if I'm remembering my watch list right, outside of having dumb episode count numbers, that would put us on like a 2-week break before we watch It's Space Time. Let me check that real quick. That is the tentative schedule at the moment for the week. Yes. So if we get next week's TGSR, if we don't, it's a 2-week break to do that batch of episodes, and then it's Space Time. or Space is here. Whatever the fucking... Whichever one it is. Uchukita has had this, like, thing with translations that people have had problems. We're rolling to like 12:30, so we got like one more long game on the table. Unless I want to do like I did like fucking Thursday after we did Pokemon and just like talk shop on Soto and stuff for like half hour. Fuck. I did not mean to go that long on Soto, but one thing I forgot to mention about Soto, just to mention it, so if you watch that, watch me ramble on about Soto. One thing I forgot to mention about the O's Chronicle stuff is all of them are able to do the O's combo chain system where they can pop off and rearrange to make the random combos, not just the full combos. All of them are engineered to do so. So it's more or less, you get the breadth of content that you'd expect from Soto with the engineering of probably the best gimmick line we've gotten, or one of the best gimmick lines we ever got from Ryder, and that's the O's combo change line. But I want to see who wins this game, so we're just going to sit here and talk about stuff for a little bit. I also might, let's see. If I can get the right account on Tumblr for this. That is not the right video I want for that one. Do I have it in history? On YouTube? I was looking through subscriptions at the moment. Not that one. Why did I close that? Why did you close entirely? I was closing a tab. I don't know why you closed everything, Firefox. Thank you. Thank you. I realized you crashed. Because I was looking for one, because there's one video I've seen for the motion sensor belt that has the tracking, the couple screens that did all the tracking for it, like visible, so you could see the entire thing. But I might have saw that on Tumblr. Or not Tumblr, on like Twitter or something, so... Because honestly, that gave a really good look at like kind of the operation of it. Wondering if this is it. Or this is just another demo of it. Oh, someone's smacking the shit out of it, because, oops. Been doing this all day. Oh, so you have the poison, and you have my card. Of course, Plum has my card. Okay, then. I guess not. Oh well. I got it. I'm going 3-man in the Vampire Castle. As long as I'm not lazy about it, I should start the archiving process tomorrow, which I think I might just go a page at a time, because we can do about, I have the like 50 displayed at a time per page, and just do 50 at a time, or do it until I've had to have downloaded like X amount of videos, because there's going to be material that I already have on there archived or downloaded, especially once I get to like the Summer Hearts Marathon. Like I've got all those recorded and archived. Like that's not a problem. And I think the lobby glitched. Let's try that again. So like all those are fine. It's just a case of, like Tommy pointed out when I was doing Fortnite, all the TGSs, all TGSRs, all of the co-op versus stuff, anything Tommy did, I'll need to download and archive. Which I might just clean out like parts of the hard drive I've got all that stuff on anyway, just because there's probably stuff on there that I just don't need anymore or don't want to have. Yeah, just sit down and do all of that. I probably need to open my door here a bit. Actually, I'll do it now since the game is about to start. I'll be right back. I see it's 213 for me. So I didn't commit murder. And Scarlet didn't commit murder. Yay. course she didn't. Why would I be allowed to meme? But I know I backed up the YouTube channel at a certain point, so I just need to more or less just do that. If the 2 TGSR episodes that are still on the TGSR channel are on the main channel, I might as well just delete them. And then that leaves our dump channel, which I'll probably just go ahead and delete all of the stuff that I know we have, like, the source material for, so just all that just gets bloop, just get popped out of existence. Because we probably don't need source files for all that. So we've more or less covered our ass for the oncoming whatever the fuck, how the fuck Hop's gonna go, which is seeming more and more like a fucking who the fuck knows. Roll the dice, see what happens. I might just go ahead and swap all of our stuff to be like the more, like the higher mature setting, just to be like, super being like, hey, you fucking... Like, this is not supposed to be for this young audience. Don't sue us. Oh, and I guess I might as well just say, I did watch the first part of the Crisis on Infinite Earths events for the CW folks, or from the CW shows. It was pretty good. I actually felt coming back just fine, since I'm coming in kind of cold from all of the seasons. Because I just... Like, I've fallen off hard on the CW material. Like, I watched all of Supergirl last season. Or I read like half of the season, and then just caught up on the rest. And then watched the rest. I didn't watch any of Arrow last season. I didn't watch any of Black... I've watched like a quarter of Black Lightning, I think, for like its first season, but then I just dropped off. Like, the only show I feel like I stayed relatively consistent with is like Legends of Tomorrow. Because I've only just now watched like the first like 4 episodes-ish of Batwoman, and it felt like season 1 of Arrow in some respects, where it's just like, oh, our hero is not very heroic. Which, you know, might be fine, but I also don't care for the conflict we're currently in, because it's more or less just a holding pattern of, you don't do anything bad. Well, maybe I won't. Oh, nope, I did a thing. What are you gonna do about it? And I am extremely not into this circling the wagons, chasing our fucking tails storytelling that Batwoman's kind of doing at the moment. Especially since it seems like, oh, we kind of finally got to where we needed to be, like, at the winter finale, instead of just like episode like 3 or something, where it's just like, okay, you finally did something personal, now we can fucking deal with this. But, like, otherwise, Batwoman's, like, fine. I just don't care for the story that's going on. I also don't care for this idea of, like, oh yeah, Batman left for reasons we're not talking about, and we keep not talking about them, and I'm just like, oh my god. I get it. You don't want to call attention to the fact that Batman... It's like, yes, we're operating in Gotham. Yes, this is a Bat character. No, it's not Batman. Ah, fuck's sakes. It honestly just kind of reminds me of Birds of Prey in some respects, oddly enough, in this idea of Batman doesn't exist. Batman's not here because we don't have a show if Batman's here, so Batman's not here. I mean, okay. No. So we need Batman to not be here, so Batman's not here, and it's just like, okay. Are you ever going to do something about that, or is that only here to for us to have a plot with these characters? Like, Supergirl got around that by just not being in Metropolis, by being somewhere else. And even then, they got to the point where it's just like, yeah, we here's Superman. Here's our Superman. And they did Superman really well, which makes me go, hey, so are you going to take 3 seasons to get to Batman, or are you going to show your hand sooner on this? Because you kind of are already doing a scene that would need to be there for Batman, technically in Crisis. Because I've seen part of that scene, because you're getting Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, for practically a generation because of the animated series, to play Bruce Wayne on screen, and he has a conversation with Kate, with Batwoman. And it is very much the conversation that I'm like, oh yeah, this needed to happen at some point. About taking up the cowl and stuff, and like what that means and all of that, and just like passing on that experience and wisdom. I'm just like, yeah, this like, this was going to happen at some point, I feel like, in Batwoman. I just didn't expect it to be, like, halfway through Season 1. And from not your universe's Batman, technically. Which I guess for me just begs the question of just like, okay, so since we've done that one, and assuming there's not some big reset on things that happen in Crisis coming out of it, what do we do now? You've done the development you need to do using a different Batman. What's your Prime Universe's Batman needed for? Because I assume coming out of Crisis, the main things we're doing is we're going to merge Supergirl's universe with the Prime universe. So that way we can have crossovers and stuff and not have to worry about needing to go, oh, we crossed universes for that. So that, like, all of our major players, all of our major shows are on one Earth, including Black Lightning, because I assume he'll get rolled in as well. So all that's there. We do any housekeeping on characters that are dead, but we make them undead. We undo their deaths, because we want them back on the table now. And also, maybe more or less set the plan going forward of like, okay, like, this is what we want to do going forward with characters. Like, maybe tease something. Because I was looking through the wiki and stuff for the episodes just to kind of read up on them. And I saw that, like, the next episode of Arrow after the Crisis event is more or less a backdoor pilot for an Arrow sequel series focused on his daughter in our 2 Black Canaries to just go, hey, here's a show about these 3. And I'm like, fine. Backdoor piloting is your modus operandi for, like, establishing new shows. I don't have a problem with that. Go ahead. Especially since I think it's got announced today that, like, HBO Max is getting a Green Lantern series that will tie into the CW material. So we're either getting, like, Hal Jordan or Jay Garrick, or not Jay Garrick. That's not. I'm trying to think of Virgin. Not John Jones. Fuck, I cannot think of the Green Lantern from the original Justice League stuff. The Black Green Lantern. Because I'm like, we have 4 lanterns to choose. Well, really 3 lanterns to choose from for material, for, like, your starring role. John Stewart. That's why I kept thinking John. Because you have Hal Jordan, the original. You've got John Stewart, the one everyone knows from the Justice League cartoons. And then you have Kyle Rayner, who is more of the younger Green Lantern from the comics as well. So you got 3 main options there for main characters. Unless you decide to want to do a spacefaring, like, ensemble piece with more of the alien Green Lanterns, which I don't know if a TV show budget can handle that, to be honest. Motherfuck. We are down to 3 locations. Because honestly, at this point, I'm pretty sure Amulet is our weapon.
Hello.
Hello.
And to be fair, if I had to guess right now, I would guess Amulet and Kitchen.
Well, you're going to be wrong on 2/3 of those counts. Oh wait, you said Amulet and Kitchen, right?
Yep.
Okay, you're wrong on one of those accounts, probably. It's a Potion Kitchen.
Yeah. Because I was kind of leaning with you on Amulet.
But no.
And that was the second time that Green picked Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Meaning I had a pretty good bet he didn't have it. Because it was a little too early to try to be ruling out everything else.
How the fuck is a Pokemon Ranger game second to last boss fight is a guy sending a horde of Bidoofs after you? Excuse me? And there's apparently official artwork for it too. Tiny artwork. Give me 1 second.
That is funny.
There it is. I just saw it in John's chat on Discord. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? What do you mean it's a horde of Bidoofs?
It's a Bidoof storm.
Apparently. Your second to last boss fight of a Ranger game, apparently. Shadows of Alima. Or Almia. ALMIA. Also, someone didn't think Bidoofs were that big. I don't know. I'm sure the Pokedex will say one way or the other. How the fuck is that Starlink deal still up? It is $10 on Best Buy still.
Still up?
Yeah, it's $10 on Best Buy right now, apparently.
Dang.
Yep. Let me see if the Amazon one changed. The Switch one, I don't think you can get officially. Yeah, it's currently unavailable. But you can get the Xbox One for $10. But the PlayStation 4 and Switch ones are unavailable. Oh no, PlayStation 4 one's available for $10. The Switch one is unavailable. You have to buy it secondhand from somebody else for $15 and up. Which, like, still, what the fuck? Why is Starlink so cheap now?
Underrated game.
I mean, the tweet I'm seeing says it's the best Star Fox game in 20 years.
Yes.
Is it 20? When was 64?
96.
Okay.
Meaning that actually needs to be modified.
Yeah.
In about 23 years.
Mm-hmm. That's like,
I have to think. Well, no. Adventure, I think, was 01. I think. I'm gonna look it up now.
I was about to say, I don't know if anyone wants to count Adventures.
It was 02. So, yeah, you could still get away right now for saying 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
It could still go a few more years before you have to change that.
Yeah. Because unfortunately, Assault has problems.
It has problems, but I think if it was made closer to the time Zero was, it wouldn't have as many problems. And on top of that, some of the stuff about, it having more multiplayer focus makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and having co-op, it was just like, oh, that makes those segments where you're on the fucking wing of a plane make more sense.
Yeah.
Because those are such a fucking drag.
And my bad, not 96, 97.
Ah. Mother... Hey, guess what I did for the notes?
Put the wrong date?
3 of the dates are wrong.
Ah.
I forgot to update those when I was doing notes. So let me fix that. While I remember to fix it. 13th. And... 20th. Also, there's been a thing wrong with the dates for a while.
Wrong year?
Yep. I forgot to update the year at a certain point.
Welp.
Anyway, folks, I'm going to take the stream now. We're going to get prepped and ready for TGSR, so see you in a bit, folks.